Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum's chart has dipped a little lower yesterday. As you know, I haven't really been particularly bullish about Ethereum in the short term. Still in a decline. I have this bearish outlook here on the chart, short-term bearish at least. And the price would need to give me some kind of a 5-wave move up, some kind of a series of higher highs and higher lows, in other words, to indicate a more substantial low is formed. But you might remember that the last rally here that happened between the 25th of October, that Friday low, and the high on the 30th of October, well, that's only been a 3-wave pattern. And because this has only been a 3-wave pattern, this is not clearly bullish, certainly, right? And because it's only a 3-wave move, we were watching for a 5-wave move down, which might have actually completed now. I said yesterday to our members on Discord that a wave 2 bounce is now really overdue, but once it starts to break below this green trend line, I assume we are already in the third of a third wave. So the current thesis is we had a 1-2 setup here, so circle wave 2 topped on the 30th of October. It's not necessarily a high confidence scenario, but I am tracking lower prices in the short term. Well, in the very short term, we might now get a bounce. The resistance areas are located on the chart. I would see it as one large resistance area. The lower one is for the alternative, marked here with question mark, a 1-2 setup. I don't necessarily like the idea of that scenario so much, because it just has problems in terms of proportions. But, it is a reasonable directly bearish alternative. So if we now sell off directly, I would assume that this blue wave 2 already topped here or here. But that's just, again, it's quite simple. Should we break and sustain below 2,358, that last swing low, the assumption is we're heading down in a third of a third wave very directly. Until then, I'm actually watching for the yellow scenario to unfold for possibly a wider wave B, a wider wave 2. And it would be an ABC structure to the upside ideally. So if the next pullback is a higher low, then it should be let's say a setup, maybe not a high quality setup, but it would be a setup for a C wave higher that could drive us into that resistance area. And the next resistance levels are for that yellow count, the price should really not break above 2,678, not above the 88.7 fib level. Also for Bitcoin, I'm watching for a possible B wave bounce. Now here on the Ethereum chart, that could represent the wave 2 bounce, right? So it kind of goes together, which is good to see that they are kind of aligned. And what can I say? It's not strongly bullish, especially not since we've broken below that swing low there. Actually would need to shift even that B wave here. So for a bullish alternative, what would be the bullish count? Well, I would have to assume that this white B wave is still unfolding, which means we still need another 5 up, 3 down move to suggest the white C wave has started. But again, the white wave count is just there in case the price really breaks above resistance. And if the price breaks above 2,678 in 5 waves, it's currently not expected necessarily, right? Because I need a setup, I need something to work with. Overall, however, don't forget that we are in a larger Ethereum support area, which is part of a bullish thesis for Ethereum. So I'm not bearish on Ethereum as such, but the trend is down. So it is more like, okay, we can still watch for one more high in this bull market, but the local trend is down since March. And until the market gives me a reason to believe that the next move up has started, the assumption has to be the local trend is down, because there is no reversal pattern yet but obviously this is the time where the bulls should turn up. So we have pulled back to the trend line, which is clearly being respected. But we have 2 more Fibonacci support levels, 2,097 and 1,790. So yeah, I think it's worth watching now for the potential of at least a short-term bounce. As long as it stays a 3-wave move and stays below resistance, I'm going to look for lower prices. At least the risk is high. And if the market shows a first 5-wave move up, then this could be a setup, because if we get 5 waves up, this is not what we should see in this yellow count, because the yellow count should be a 3-wave move, right? The yellow wave 2. But if it's 5 waves, it's a signal. We should see that first on the 1-hour chart. If then a higher low forms, then this is a so-called 1-2 setup. We can look for higher. So this is what I would need to see to take a more directly bullish stance. Until then, I assume any rally is corrective. That's the update about Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.